My name is Chris Page. I'm Director of Climate and Energy Strategy at Yahoo. And this is our third year of participation in the Data Center Energy Efficiency Summit. It's a great event. We love to come here and share best practices and hear what folks have to say. This year I participated in a panel that included a colleague of mine, Rick Cuevas, from Yahoo, and a gentleman from HP. It was really a bunch of case studies about airside economization, the use of free cooling in data centers, which is a relatively new phenomenon. It's something that 5 years ago wasn't really common at all. People really were concerned about using outside air to cool data centers from an air quality standpoint, a control standpoint. And now it's really common practice. And I think that's partially because of events like this, because of the Data Center Energy Summit. Sharing best practices, people start realizing what's possible, innovating, we get a little competitive with one another. We go away, we experiment with stuff, and we come back and compare notes. And that's really how you start to see change in data centers. It's quite effective. The importance of data center energy efficiency. Globally, internet and telecom industry, you're starting to see that industry, which has been growing rapidly over the last 10 years or so, pass the airline industry in terms of total global greenhouse gas emissions. So at a time when scientists tell us we need to, by 2050, decrease greenhouse gas emissions globally by 80%, our industry is moving in the opposite direction. So where we're supposed to be going like this, our industry is going like this. You get a lot of savings and efficiency. We're doing a lot of great things in terms of greater efficiency globally, but it's still a case of we're consuming more and more electricity every year. So figuring out ways to be more efficient as an industry is something we've got a great responsibility to do. There's also a lot of low-hanging fruit. You know, we were able to increase the efficiency of our most recent data center by 40% over average conventional data centers by using free cooling, by creating an innovative design that mimics a chicken coop. So there is a lot of opportunity for savings. And that's something that drops straight to the bottom line at a time when energy prices are continuing to increase, where you see volatility in the future in terms of energy cost. Anything you can do to increase efficiency in data centers is going to drop straight to your bottom line as a company, which is something that CEOs and shareholders really like to see. The most important takeaways from the summit this year, I really enjoyed hearing what the folks at HP are up to. I think as usual, this is an event that I think gets better every year because you get people returning, excited to share ideas as much as possible. I think the main takeaway is the importance of growing a community of practice around this stuff. The folks who originally set it up, the original chill off, they were starting with a pretty small group of people and filling a need that we're just starting to realize we have. Getting together and having this exchange of ideas is really important. I think to reduce energy use, the data center industry needs to keep looking at things from a whole systems perspective. Look at the entire system. What's our IT load? How do we reduce that? How do we cool servers more effectively and efficiently? If we look at things just in silos, if a computer programmer writes a piece of code and says, here, plug this into the server, and then the server operator takes a server and says, here, cool this to the data center designer, you're not achieving the levels of efficiency you can if there's a greater level of collaboration. We're starting to get there, but I think there's a long way to go. So the most efficient data center is one in which everybody up and down the chain of the business and beyond has an awareness of how this works. So that's sort of a vision for the future. Right now, I think we're very focused on cooling, which is, we're seeing great wins there. There are a lot of fantastic wins. In terms of data centers in the future, having a better integrated approach throughout the company where everybody's invested in creating an energy efficient data center is going to become where the real opportunities are for future savings.